prime Sam Holland, Team Australia representative, and Brisbane Bandits. Really jack of all trades on the bump. You've closed, you've set up, and you've started. So you've worn all the hats.
Yeah, exactly right, mate. And this year and last year, probably a little more so than in the past. But whatever you can do to help the team win, whatever situation you need to go into, you just got to be best prepared for it.
And I think it's what we talked to with Atho and even Lutz as well, where you guys, when you looked at the dominant era of the four, Claxton Shields, you were still a young buck at that stage, and now you're a leader and a veteran within this ball club with your experience. And now, obviously, when you're seeing the push of the futures programs, and now you're seeing the Team Australia, it's great that now you're a leader that's worn the green and gold. You've played at the U.S. levels as well, and now you sharing your knowledge with the next generation. And it's got to be a great feeling. So now you're the mentor within that clubhouse.
Yeah, I started off with the Bandits as one of the first official development players when they added development players to the rosters back in, I think, 2010. So, yeah, now being one of the veterans on the team, it's a privilege and an honour to kind of go through that pathway.
And I've had the privilege of working with you, and like I said, I acknowledge what you do because your style is unique. On the bump, high competitor, but off the field you can keep that team loose, but they have that respect for you where it's a good chemistry. And like I said, it's good for some of the young kids that are a bit shy because you've helped embrace and bring them in. Talk about another veteran at the plate. We've got Soupy Campbell, and I remember Soupy coming in the early 2010-11. He was 19 and was still with Cleveland Indians, and now he's a grown man and representing Team Australia as well as the Bandits for a number of years, and another leader in the clubhouse.
Yeah, definitely.
Swing and a miss. That'll be out number one, and a big strikeout. It's another Sky Fleet Hino strikeout for Team Australia. And I think that's what's been impressive. We've actually seen really good baseball. We'll get a chance to see the highlight, and just seeing the velo. I mean, these guys are first time sometimes matching up, but it just shows that that's a national player facing a young guy. He's able to get it by him, and just shows that these guys have come out here to compete.
Oh, being a pitcher myself, Gons, I've been extremely impressed with the arms that the under-19 Australian team have showcased over these three games.
And there's someone that's not new to a good fastball, especially if you leave it up, and a good friend of yours, and obviously a long-time Bandits hero and fan favorite, Donald Lutz, shoots one into right field for a one-out single.
Yeah, good swing there by Lutzy.
Once again, another veteran stepping to the plate, and in Mitch Nielsen, part of the four-peat as well, and another fan favorite as well, steps up. Team Australia playing a slight shift to the right side with the shortstop playing on the second base side. Second baseman playing more to the pull side. First baseman Lim holding Lutz on. This will be a 7-inning game. It was always scheduled for 7 innings. Obviously, weather permitting, balls hit sharply. Lim fields it cleanly, and that'll double up, and that's a very clean, efficient third out, and that'll finish the first.
Just the way they planned it.
Absolutely. So after 1 inning to play, Bandits 0, Team Australia 0. Welcome back to Vidicon Stadium. We are now in the bottom of the second inning. Game is tied at 0-0. We've had quite the pitching matchup, and tell you what, our Tim Atherton is definitely racking up the Sky Fleet Hino strikeouts. Defensively for Team Australia, we have Lim at first base, Griffin at second base, Smith at short, Campbell at third, Hawkins in left, McGuire in center, and Wilson in right. Behind the plate is McClendon, and on the mound is Zak Elvy. Ball one up to Dan Nielsen. Like you mentioned, Sammy, the arms have been good. We, in game one, I got a chance to see young Jackson Ground, who was a bat boy at one stage, and for the Bandits, and now he's punching Bandits outs and breaking bats. But he's also now 6'1" and filling out into a pretty good sized presence on the bump. So once again, another young, bright arm coming through the system.
Yeah, he's definitely one to watch out for. He's got a big body on him with some pretty clean mechanics there, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes.
Ball hit softly to the right side, but good hustle by Dan Nielsen, but not able to beat it out, and out number 1. Another bright spot to the Bandits, and last year, Rookie of the Year for the ABL, and had a fantastic year. I had a chance to talk to Anthony, and everybody called him. He'd love to face the big leaguers and came up with big hits all last year, and he continues to stay on the same pace and really has the ability to barrel up a baseball and really understands his strike zone well.
Yeah, flew in under the radar last year, you know, not a regular name for the Bandits by any means, but came up clutch in some big situations and has really stepped up this year after getting Rookie of the Year and has proved why he got that.
Ooh, good play by Lim at first on a tough shot from Fritz, and once again, just talk about being able to barrel up right there. Another hard hit ball, but a good job by Lim. He's playing first base and most of the time behind the plate, but good pickup for out number 2. Now here's a guy you'd know well, and obviously you've thrown to him for a number of years, or pitched to him, excuse me, for a number of years, and once again, another veteran on this ball club, and Ryan Battaglia. Fouled it back for 1-1. Team Australia playing straight up against Boof. Once again, looks like the weather will hold up. Hopefully we'll get the full 7 innings in. That'll wrap up this series and this showcase. Next series and showcase is scheduled on the 4th and 5th of February. That ball hit foul, moves the count to 1-2. Will be 4th and 5th of February, and at this stage it's Canberra. We'll be visiting Brisbane on the 4th and 5th. We have on the cards the 25th and 26th of February. We had scheduled Perth pending. Obviously there's some things outside our control, which will be WA government at the moment, so we'll just wait and see. But I think we're looking at options of maybe representing this showcase again. Team Australia potentially coming back. That's still in discussions and negotiations with both parties.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what the rest of the season holds for us. But anytime we get any games against some quality opposition, it's good baseball. The fans love it, the players love it, and it's good.
Ball is hit to center field. That is to Maguire. Maguire will get underneath it, and that'll be a clean 1-2-3 for Elvy. So after 2 complete, Bandit Vidicon Stadium, where we now enter the bottom of the 3rd inning. We have a tie ball game. It's actually been a pitcher's duel to date. A lot of efficiencies are been pretty outstanding. Once again, it was highly touted as a pitching duel, and it's actually turned into a pitching duel. I'm joined by my partner in crime, Sam Holland. Sammy comes obviously with fairly good credentials with the San Diego Padres organization, the Anaheim Angels at the time.
Yeah.
And Team Australia and Bandits, 4-time Collection Shield winner, Sam Holland. Now stepping to the plate for your Brisbane Bandits will be Jacob Nielsen. Once again, I think Jacob's another sneaky one where I watch his progression, and it's just every year he just gets a little bit stronger, a little bit wiser, and I think he's kind of once again develop, and David and I have talked about this a number of times about when Australian athletes really hit their playing apex, and it's really between 26 to 28 when they really start hitting their maturity, just because they don't get the number of at-bats by not playing in overseas, so it takes them a little bit longer to catch up. Yeah,
definitely. I'd agree with that because I'm 27 right now.
You're in the prime.
You find too more when some of these older guys have stepped aside in the last few years and no imports this year. It's really given the homegrown talent a lot more at-bats and a lot more, I guess, consistent week-to-week high-level competition, and they're all benefiting from that and constantly getting better and taking advantage of each opportunity they've been getting in the last couple of weeks.
And I agree, and I think everything happens for a reason. I mean, obviously, there was decisions made to suspend this year and plan for a bigger 22-23, but it's also, good
Nice
pitch. Really
Well
good
done.
pitch. But what it's done is opened up opportunities and new exposure, and I think even here, this showcase has probably developed a new product. That's the Skyfleet, strikeout, but it's developed a new product that all franchises. I had 3 franchises ring me this week just talking about, the opportunities and what this meant, and I think you'll probably see, hopefully, this team tour more in future and have opportunities to play on these type of stages. But again, Zach continues to pound the strike zone, and that's something that's so important, as you would know, particularly in this ballpark.
Yeah, and Dingo talks about it at the national men's team level, and we don't get to play often together as a team. So for these young guys to kind of start creating that chemistry within their team at under 19s level, this is going to be the core group, like we're talking about going into 2028. The more games they get to play as a team, the better they're going to be.
100%. I watched in the rain delay and the breaks. They were all in. They were playing different games. They were playing a bit of typical baseball, cricket, and they were playing a bit of can't remember, flip, and seeing them working together, and they're from different states, but all that's about building that team chemistry. That means that when we go to war and on the battlefield, we're all brothers, and that's so important, particularly for the Team Australian culture and the teams that have had success in the past.
Yeah, definitely. Also saw a lot of those players on the rakes as well in between games, getting the field ready. Keeps us old shaggers happy that we get to keep our feet feet dry out in the pen or the dugout. But that just shows that they have respect for the game as well. So
thank you for mentioning that. I did see that, and it actually made me proud. And somebody said, "Oh, look, the young Team Australian kids are on the rakes," and I said, "I love that. That shows that what this game means to them, and they're willing to get on the tools to make this happen." And that's how important these games are to them.
They want to play.
They want to play.
They want to play.
Remember the last time I did that, we were at a game, and it was rain delay, and I think Lutzy had just come down from Cincinnati. He was revisiting to catch up with Mark, wasn't playing, and he was out in the stands, and I'm out there on the diamond drive bags, and next thing you know, Lutzy's on the rake and goes, "What can I do to help?"
Yeah, another big kid that just wants to play as well.
Splitter, one out, nobody out here in the third, sits with a 1-2 count, and once again, Zach continues to put pressure on the Bandits offense. Just doing little things, and it's so simple and but hard at the same time, just finding ways to get ahead and forcing hitters, swinging pitches out of the zone. Good pitch, good location right there.
If it's your first time watching this stream or baseball, pitching isn't always this easy. These guys are just doing a really good job of it tonight so far.
Pitches up, and Rory able to work the count to 3-2. And like I said, big game one of this doubleheader in the 2 o'clock. Drove in 4 runs, had a 3-run shot to right field on a 3-0 count, and then hit a solo shot to right off the flagpole. He's driving his 4th run of the day. Ball's hit sharply to short. Knocked down by Smith. He'll eat that one. That's probably the safest play. And we will note that the footing isn't that greatest. It's had a lot of moisture, but just a good job of keeping that ball in front. Keeps the double play in order. That'll be an interesting one. If he was my son, I would count that as a hit.
Yeah, it's a tough one in these conditions.
We'll see what the ladies next door decide. Another young player for the Bandits. I believe that's Liam. Liam Taylor. Well, we've got a little bit of a break. Sammy, I'll acknowledge. I noticed you were engaged recently, so congratulations.
Thank you very much, mate. Yep, got engaged.
Ball's hit softly to the shortstop Smith, able to come up with it. And that's a good feed right there. And the one thing is for the young players right there, footing isn't great, but he gave a good feed, guaranteed the first out, keeps the runner off second base, takes the threat out of play for out number 2.
Also a good way to bounce back there for Smitty after what could have been put down as an error, to bounce back on the very next play and get it out there. That shows a bit of maturity from him.
Well, I'm looking at it. There's no error showing on the scorebook, so they have given it a hit.
There you go.
I think that's a good call. So thank you, ladies.
Still a good play. But yeah, mate, recently engaged. The beginning of the doom.
Don't say that. I think it's congratulations.
No.
Said you, and she's a softballer as well. So
Yeah, softball and baseball.
There you go.
Hopefully the women's Bandits team gets a run soon and we can be the first dynamic duo.
Oh, wow. You know what? I think we can make that happen.
I'm sure we
I think
can.
we can make that happen. Good pitch, good location, just down. Once again, falls behind in the count to a very dangerous hitter in Soupy Campbell. We've seen him game 1, I believe it was against Adelaide, first at bat, put one out of here. So we know we've seen him do that a few times. So we are at 0-0 here in the third. Ball up in the zone. Speaking of dangerous hitters, another good friend of yours and fishing buddy is on deck, Mr. Donald Lutz, and he's hit a few off that house in his day.
Yes, definitely. There'll be a few dents in the roof up there that he can account for. Soupy as well.
Pitch up for strike. No green light, 3-0, so that'll make the count 3-1. Put Soupy in another hitting count. We are in the bottom of the third inning, tied at 0-0. Ooh, good pitch,
Another
good
good
location.
Battled his way back into this count.
And it didn't look like he just rolled it off. A little two-seamer, had a little bit of late movement on it, and so if you're looking to try to pull the baseball, probably hook it or break your bat. So Soupy laid off that, so now just have to expand the zone here, 3-2. Runners will be moving on the pitch. The ball's in the dirt. Liam will cruise into second base. Now putting major threat with first and second, and a very respected hitter in the ABL, and obviously played at the major league level with Cincinnati Reds, and now running the academy program for the Brisbane Bandits, and you're working alongside him this year. So once again, now sharing the knowledge and the IP that he learned over the years, and it's really fantastic. You guys are working together.
Yeah, he's a great guy to have around. He's the person you want teaching these younger generation of kids. He teaches in a really positive way and definitely in a fun way as well, which is promoting the good side of baseball.
Oh, he's off.
Of course, the Outlaws are up there in the corner singing his song. We missed them in the first game today.
Yeah, I think the neighbors were happy that it was a quiet first game, quiet Saturday afternoon. Good pitch, good location. Even the count at 1-1, 2 outs. Bandits first threat of the night with runners on first and second. Liam Taylor on a base hit just past, it was a force out, so he's at second base. Good pitch, good take by Lutzy. Puts him in a hitting count at 2-1. Doesn't get any easier for young Zach. On deck, another big hitter, and Mitch Nielsen. So these are the types of really opportunities that really test you, but also prepare you for your future.
Definitely, when you face a good lineup, there is no easy inning. There is no easy lineup hole. You know, you talk about, you might play club ball at a lower level, playing in juniors. You look at a lineup and you go, okay, I've got 7, 8, 9 coming up this inning, and you go into cruise control. If you run into 7, 8, 9 in this team, it's the 3, 4, 5 hitters on most other teams.
Well, I'll ask you a story. I got a chance to see you were in big league camp with the Angels, and you actually had to face a couple big names.
Yeah.
So you know firsthand. Ooh, good pitch, good take. So one of the big names you faced, was it pool halls, or you?
I was with those guys in with
Yep.
the Angels.
Yep.
I told myself not to take note of who I was facing. That way I didn't get intimidated, and it seemed to work out for me in that way.
But once again, that was your game plan, because it didn't the fear component of who you were facing. It was just about execution. So
Correct.
pitches up, and I think that's the knowledge base that people don't understand that's shared in the clubhouse. When people can ask you the question, "Hey, Sammy, you went to big league camp," and you're like, "Yes, I have. What was that like?" And then you share the story. I don't know who I faced, and they probably go back and watch and go, "Well, you faced boom, boom, boom," and you're like, "Did I?"
Yeah.
But that really helps to lead to the success, because
Yeah.
you were more focused on what you were trying to achieve as opposed to who you faced.
You're definitely aware of who you're facing in the situation at hand, but you don't try and draw too much attention to it by putting a name to a player.
Correct.
Per se. You see a left-handed power hitter or a right-handed gap-to-gap guy, more so than a name on the back of the jersey. It kind of keeps you present and keeps you locked in on what you were saying before, on your task at hand, executing your pitch.
So Lutzi moves the count to full, so the runners will be moving on the pitch. So there is a base hit that will score Taylor easily, but put a lot of pressure on the defense who's playing the shift. Play will have to be made at first. 2 outs. Ball fouled. Hooked foul. And once again, this is where the difference between higher level hitters, they just continue to hit the tough pitches and keep the at bat alive. And then obviously it's for you, it's really as a pitcher, is just making sure you don't get too fine and make that mistake and end up getting punished. So good battle for Zach here, and once again building his skill sets in this challenge.
Yeah, definitely. There's a fine line between being too fine and then putting one down the middle.
Ball hit very hard to Lim, able to knock it down, bit of PFP cover. Able to get over, and very textbook, and that'll be out number 3. And welcome back to Vidicon Stadium. We are now in the bottom of the 4th inning. We've got a new arm on the mound. Lefty Zach Lachlan Brook will be on for Team Australia, number 15. I'll give you the quick line on Zak Elvy, who actually threw outstanding tonight. 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, 1 base on balls. That was outstanding. Like I said, he conceded no runs. He's got a fairly tough lineup to face. You've got Lutz, you've got Nielsen, you've got Soupy, you've got Dermot Fritz. So well done. You have to tip the cap to Team Australia and tip the cap to Zach.
Yeah, very well pitched by Zach there. I'd say best pitching performance of the weekend so far.